Hello, 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 wherever you are in this world today, whether it's the morning, the afternoon, or the evening, I want to say good day to you. Today is an important day to me, for me, because I was asked to do the daily inspiration today. And it was kind of ironic because this whole week I've been, asking myself, how can I inspire someone? How can I motivate someone? I'm sitting on the opportunity of a lifetime, and I really want to inspire others to see what I see, feel what I feel, have the passion that I have. And then out of the boom, I get asked to do the daily inspiration call. And so I'm super excited about that. For those that you don't, of those of you that don't know me, my name is Ben Wright, and those that are closest to me call me Chief. And so it used to be Big Chief, but I'm on a mission to lose some weight. So I'm just going by Chief now because I'm no longer going to be Big Chief. But listen, today we're going to have some fun. I'm super motivated. And believe it or not, I spent 3 or 4 days, trying to figure out what did I want to talk about today? What topics did I want to inspire? And I came up with self-belief and self-capability and, believing in yourself and how you handle situations. And then I thought about it and I was like, the very first thing I should do is just share my story, right? That's the first thing I should do. Because if I share my story, you will understand how I got here, the perseverance, the challenges, the valleys and the mountains, all the stuff that was basically trying to hold me back. That was, sometimes I felt like the world was just on my shoulders, and no matter what, I wasn't going to win. And but I just kept going and kept going and kept going. And so I'm gonna share that with you today. And you're gonna see that there's a few things that I had that I think everyone inside has them. Someone's just got to pull them out. Something just got to pull them out. So with that being said, again, welcome to Daily Inspiration. I'm only going to take about 15 or 20 minutes of your time, and I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to share with you what inspired me to keep it moving, right? Okay, so let's backtrack, because every story of inspiration didn't start inspiring. Every story of inspiration started with challenges. So we're going to backtrack to late 2015, early 2016, which is arguably the worst year of my adult life, the absolute worst year of my adult life. Some of y'all have heard my story before where I said I was so broke at one point that I was I would go to the grocery store to get tunas and crackers, and I pretend that we were camping and stuff just so my kids didn't realize we were struggling. Okay. This is during that time frame. And how we got there is a whole nother story. But I want to stay focused. So this year, this time in our life was very hard to deal with. The only thing good in my life at the time were my kids and my spouse, right? So our kids and my spouse, that was the only thing positive going on in my life at the time. Money wasn't right. We didn't have jobs. We just relocated to Texas. We came to Texas because this is where I've lived the majority of my adult life, and I knew that I can make things happen here. And we had just went through a bad business ordeal, and we relocate to Texas and literally could not find a job. And so it got to a point where I was borrowing money from friends, my wife was borrowing money from family members, and we were not made. It was a disaster. And but you know what we did? We went to the gym every day. We went to the gym every single day because that's the one thing that we can control. And what's funny is we were so fit back then. And then I look at where we're at now. Now we don't, we're doing well, and we just started going back to the gym. It's kind of funny how that works. But let me get back on topic. Back on topic. You know, the first thing that happened is here's the first defining moment that I realized that I needed to believe in myself, right? That I had to know that I was capable of more, right? And so at this point in time, me and my spouse, who is Elaine Perez, we had been together 5, almost 6 years at this point. Um, and and this is a very defining moment. What I'm about to tell you, and I hope I can say it without getting emotional, because it literally was a defining moment in how, and again, how I knew that I was capable, and how I knew I had to believe in myself and stop doubting myself. Okay. So Elaine comes from a very, very wholesome family, right? Mom and dad been married for 432 years. Her, all of her cousins, nephews, aunts, uncles, they get together for every birthday, every wedding. Typical, well-rounded dictionary version of a Puerto Rican family, and I love that family. Me, on the other hand, I love my family as well, but we very rarely get together. There's not a lot of, kumbayas, et cetera, et cetera. So I've always been envious of her family. And so we're sitting in bed one night. This is probably about 6 months into this struggle, right? 6 months into the struggle. And I saw no light at the end of the tunnel. I saw no way out. And we're sitting in bed one night, and I look over to her and I'm like, Elaine, I have a question for you. I said, why are you here? Like, you have a great family. You have plenty of places to go. You have plenty of people that you can go to that will help you. You don't need to sit here and go through this crap with me. And now let me frame this, okay? Let me frame this because I'm not ashamed. We lived in an apartment that was probably 900 square feet, something like that, 900,000 square feet. It had so many roaches that you pretty much couldn't move without seeing one. There were so many roaches in this apartment that I did not even leave my house I'm sorry, I did not even eat in my house for a whole entire year. I ate out every single day, right? Or I didn't eat because I didn't have money, right? And when I say ate out, I'm talking dollar menu. Okay, I'm talking dollar menu burger, dollar menu fries, eating once a day, or I'd buy a bucket of protein shakes and have a shake, whatever it was. I did not eat in that house for a year. We had no money. We were struggling. She had never struggled like that before. I had never struggled like that before. And I asked her, why are you here? Why are you staying in this situation? You have options. You have a ton of options. And I promise you, this is what she said. She looks at me and she said, because I know this ain't going to last long. I believe in you. I know what you're capable of. And I know you're going to pull our family out of this. And that hit me like a ton of bricks. It made me feel, I can't even explain the feeling, but it gave me validity in who I was. And so from that point forward, I'm a big football fan. I was looking for a job, and I found a guy. He's a former NFL player or current NFL player who was opening a business. And I said, I'm going to get a job at that location. I know what I'm doing. And I won't go into the industry and all that. I said, I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm the best at what I do, or one of the best at what I do, and I'm going to get that job. And I went up there and I applied, and they told me no. I said, why? And they go, man, because you don't fit the look and feel of what we're trying to do. You don't fit the mold of what we're trying to do. And I said, I guarantee you I'm the best person that I will turn this place around. They didn't listen to me. I went to that job. I either went there or called them every single day. Perseverance. I annoyed them. I'm like, you guys will regret not hiring me. I spent money on a membership I did not even have to get to be there every single day. I went every single day. I talked to the manager, the assistant manager, one of the owners every single day for well over almost 2 months. And they finally hired me. They finally hired me in the summer of 2016. My first month there, I think I got hired June 13th, I believe. Okay, June 13th, 2016 is when I got hired. And it was a sales position. They had two other salespeople there. From June 13th to July 1st, the rest of that month, I sold more than their other two salespeople combined who had been there since the grand opening. In 2 weeks, I sold more than both of their people did in the same 2 weeks. And I started halfway through the month and I beat them for the month, right? My very first paycheck at that place was $6,700. The owner's wife came up to me and she was like, oh my God, why didn't they hire you early? I was like, I tried to tell them, they didn't want to listen to me. I tried to tell them, they did not want to listen to me. But here's how I got that job. I got that job because I persevered. I never quit. And I kept thinking about what my wife said at that night. She said, I believe in you and I know you're going to pull us out of this. I know that you're going to figure out a way. And I knew if I quit on myself, I was quitting on her. And that was not going to happen, because if I was quitting on her, I was quitting on my children, I was quitting on our relationship. And it is hard enough to find a good person, a good spouse, a good significant other, to lose the great one that you have. And so I persevered, and I did not quit. I did not quit. I end up getting this job, right? So inspiration number one, perseverance, right? Perseverance. I'm gonna start right there. Perseverance. You got to have perseverance. You got to believe in yourself. You got to know that you are capable. Don't ever let anyone else tell you that you're not, because even if they do, it does not matter. Their opinion doesn't matter. It matters what you believe and the people that are important to you believe. And when those people are telling you, when they depend on you and they count on you and they believe in you because of who you are, believe them. Why do you believe the people that tell you you're nothing? You're too short, you're too tall, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too cute, you're too ugly, you're too rich, you're too poor, right? You'll believe those people, but when someone comes and tells you that they believe in you and they know that you're capable and you won't let them down and they trust you, that's why they're there with you and they're going to hold your hand through the fire, you don't believe them, right? We got to change the paradigm, right? Okay, so perseverance. Now, fast forward. I'm at this job. I'm there for a year. Turns out that one of the owners is incredibly intelligent, but not a very nice guy. Arguably one of the most intelligent people I've ever met in my life to this day. Intelligence. Not a nice person at all. It just the way he treats people on and on, it just is not right. It's just not good. And it wasn't an environment that I wanted to be in. And so I was like, but I can't leave here because I'm making way too much money for what I was doing. And so I have to find another way, have to find another route, got to do something, which goes into my second inspiration activity. So number one is perseverance. Number two, don't pass up opportunities. Do not pass up on opportunities. Opportunities will always come to you, always have opportunities, but the average person will pass them up because they don't believe that they can do it, or they say, I'm not capable of doing it, or I don't fit this, I don't fit that. I had a friend that was telling me about an opportunity in the insurance industry for almost a year, and I kept turning them down, telling them, no, it's not for me, no, it's not for me, on and on. I got so upset, it's like I hated my job so much that I took them up on the opportunity. I took a couple of days off. I went to Dallas, Texas. I took this class and I became a catastrophe insurance adjuster. And it was the best decision I ever made in my life until we get to 2021, which we'll get to in just a second. Okay. I finally called him up and I said, hey, you've been telling me about this for a year. I've been telling you no for a year. I've got to get out my own way. Tell me more. What do I do? I go to Dallas, I get my license, I get this job, and I actually doubled my income in the first month. And I end up going through this program, learning how to do this job of inspecting homes after catastrophes like hurricanes, tornadoes, hailstorms, et cetera, et cetera. In my very first year in the business, I made $180,000 in like 8 months. And I thought I'd hit the jackpot. I was like, whoa, this is amazing. I'll never turn down another opportunity again. What the heck? I was so good at my job that the company I was working for brought me to Alabama, which was their headquarters, and they put me in there with 500 other people on an inside position, and I did my job and I did it great. And as people were being released and let go and sent home, I was still there week after week after week, 500 to 400, 400 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1, all the way down to 17 people. And I was one of those 17. And I overheard a conversation. They're like, a hurricane's about to hit Puerto Rico. We need a team there and we need to find people to go. I volunteered. I'm like, look, my wife's from there. We both speak Spanish. Let's make it happen. They sent me to Puerto Rico. 2018, the best financial year of my entire life. We made well over $500,000 and we were debt free, paid off all our bills, and all because of number two. I kept my options open. I took an opportunity that I had passed on, and every opportunity that was offered, they said, hey, do you want to go to Alabama? Yes, I do. Hey, do you want to go to Louisiana? Yes, I do. I didn't want to go to those places, but they were opportunities I was not willing to pass up on. I was not willing to pass up on them because the original opportunity that I passed up for a year was so extremely successful that I was like, there is no way I can pass up on this next one. And then they said this next one. And I was like, no, I'll take it. Everyone else was saying no, I'll take it. And I learned and I learned and I learned. And we get to Puerto Rico. We stay in Puerto Rico for 13 months. I worked 7 days a week for 13 months. And it set my family's life up. My wife got to go home. We were debt free. We had money in the bank and we came back to the States and we had money to invest. Okay. Which is going to number three. The second thing that happened that was an obstacle or a challenge. I get a call from a friend who says, "Hey, let me rephrase that. I get a call from a person I thought was a friend, and she says, "Hey, we're starting this forex education company. I think you should come check it out." And I was like, "No, no, I'm not interested. I'm not interested." On and on. He's like, "No, you should really check it out." I'm like, "Who owns the company?" And they told me who owned the company. I'm like, "Well, I know that person." I'm like, "Yeah, I know that person. She seems like a legit person. Let's talk." So we get on the phone with her, and we had did a business adventure, a little bit prior to that. And I always knew her. I thought I knew her as a stand-up person. So long story short, we start working together, and then she says, "Hey, you know what? I think I'd like you to be VP of business development for the company." I said, "Yeah, I'll take it. I'm all for this. I've been trading since in 2016 is when I started trading. 2018 is when I got good at it. I was like, I believe in this. I believe in what you're doing. Let's make it happen." I said, "As a matter of fact, I want to invest some money in your company. I not only want to be a part of it, I want to invest some money." And I had some business partners. We got together and we decided to invest just over $60,000 total into the company. Long story short, we got robbed. The owners of that company took our money. They never paid us. They spread rumors about us. They said all these crazy things, right? Things that would blow your mind, right? Now remember, I'm married to a woman who just told me that she'll never leave my side because she believes in me and she knows I'm capable of getting us out of any hole that we would ever get in, right? The most loving, caring woman you'll ever meet. If you've already met her, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. These people were so evil, and they tried to ruin my reputation so bad that they actually started a rumor that I was physically abusive to my spouse, which blew me away. And now I'm even more angry. Obstacle number two and three, right? So we took opportunities. They were all good, all good, all good. We come back to the States. I make another opportunity. I say, "I'm not passing this up," and it bites me in the butt. It bites me in the butt, and it almost ruined us because we lost money, we lost time. I wasn't able to get contracts back because the company that had brought me on and sent me all these places, if once you tell them no, you're kind of blacklisted, right? So I wasn't even able to go back to them. And so I'm trying to figure out what do we do now? Because the last 2 years have been financially phenomenal, but what do we do now? Because we've invested time and money in this company and was taken advantage of, and we made a bad decision. And the worst thing about it is my wife told me from day one, she said, "Don't do it. I don't trust him." And I said, "No, babe, I do trust him. I think this will work out." Moral of this story, trust the woman. What she says goes. Men, trust the ladies. They know what they're talking about. Listen to the woman. Okay. I should have listened, but I didn't. So we're going into the third. So we got perseverance. We got don't miss out. Don't pass up opportunities. Take advantage of the opportunities, right? And I know what you're thinking. Well, one worked and one didn't. Nah, but here's the key. The one that didn't work, it did work. You know why? Because it got me here today with Ellev8. When all that happened, I called up a friend of mine. You guys know him as But John Spencer, right? I called him up. I said, "John, you know what? I am tired of the way this industry is going. I'm tired of what's going on. We need to do a better way." He goes, "Bro, I've been thinking the same thing." He goes, "I'm tired of these companies that are selling hype. We need to do what's right. We need to teach people how to trade." I said, "John, we need to start our own company." And he was like, "Maybe." I'm like, "What do you mean this is in August?" He's like, "Maybe, da da da." He wasn't real sure if we should work together, right? At first. Well, come September, he was like, "You know what? We should work together because the one thing I know about you is that you've always been a man of your word. And the one thing I know about him is he's always been a straight shooter. And we felt we'd be a perfect team." And we formed this company and we started teaching people to trade the right way. We didn't make false promises. We didn't go out there and tell all these, whimsical lies and posting all this crap in cars and we didn't do any of that. We told people, if you want to learn to trade and that is all that you want to do, you come to our company. We will teach you how to trade. No fluff, no BS. Come learn how to trade. And that's what we did. So because if those challenges would have never happened, we probably would still be in a predicament of doing something for someone, for another company, right? But because of the challenges, it gave us our own opportunity, right? So now I had to believe in myself. I had to know that I was capable. I had to overcome obstacles. I had to persevere to get to where we are today. And I went and I reached out, and I won't even go. You guys know how Ellev8 started, right? So we won't even go there. I'm going to end at where we started our own company, because those of you that are in Ellev8, you already know. And I'm not here to talk about Ellev8 today. I'm not here to talk about business today. I'm here to talk about self-belief, perseverance, overcoming obstacles, and believing in yourself that you are capable to achieve anything that you want to achieve. Those are the things that was my 5-year journey, going from 2015 to 2020 into 2021. If I didn't have those 4 things, I don't think I would be here today. And if I was here today, it would probably be under different circumstances. But because I was able to persevere from the get-go, if I would have never persevered from the get-go, I would have never got there. And do you know why this all started? This all started because I had courage. I had courage enough to ask my significant other while laying in bed why she was willing to stick in a situation that was horrible. The average man walking does not have the courage to even ask that question. And I did. And it took a long time. It took 6 months. I could have asked her earlier. And I would think about it every night, every night, every night. And then I told myself, you know what? If you truly love this woman the way you say you love her, why would you want to keep her in this situation? You need to give her an out if she's willing to take it. And that's how much I cared for her, is that I wanted to offer her an out. And so I got the courage to ask her a question. She came back with the answer. That answer validated my inner self, right? That answer validated what I was looking for. It gave me the ability to know that I was capable. I had to believe in myself, and I was going to persevere until we made it happen. And I did that. And when those obstacles came, I thought back and I was like, I'm not going to fail her because she didn't fail me. I'm not going to fail my kids. I'm not going to fail those people that depend and rely on me. I'm not going to fail the people in the original company or the people in Ellev8 that trust us to help them get where they want to be. I'm not going to fail them. I'm going to push, 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 and push. And every day that I wake up, I'm going to persevere, and I'm going to know that I'm capable of doing that. That is what got me here. So here's my challenge to you. Affirmations are real. I need you to write down some affirmations. These are the ones for me. I am capable. I believe in myself. I trust myself. And then you got to find somebody that's going to work with you. Some people call it an accountability partner. Some people call it a significant other. Whatever it is for you, find somebody that you can partner with that's going to help you with your affirmations on a daily basis. They're going to make sure you did it. You're going to make sure that they did it. And every single day for the next 30 days, or until the next time I do one of these calls, or better yet, for the rest of your life, because this is your life we're talking about. I believe in myself. I trust myself. I know that I'm capable, and I will persevere through any challenges that are put in my path. And fifth, most important, I absolutely will not, under any circumstances, pass up an opportunity, because opportunities are what get us where we want to be. Opportunities are what get you where you want to be. If you find a person that doesn't have what they want in life, I can guarantee you that they make a living out of passing up opportunities. And not every opportunity will be a winner, but every opportunity will be a lesson. The ones that work are winners, and the ones that don't work are lessons. They're not losses, they are lessons. And if you can keep that understanding and understand that when something doesn't work out, that's not negative. That is a life lesson. If you can keep that mentality, I promise you that you will look forward 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years from now, you will look back at today and you'll be like, that moment in time defined who I am. That moment in time determined the person I became because I handled it a certain way, I went down a certain path, and I did a certain thing. And that's what made me where I am today. So 5 years from now, when you look back, whether your life is great or your life is the same as it is right now, you can look back to these instances and you can say, that's why the way I handled that situation, the way I reacted, or the way I processed this is what made me who I am today. So if you're better off, know that that's why. And if you're not better off, know that it was the lack of indecision, the lack of belief, the lack of taking advantage of opportunities or self-belief. That's why you didn't get where you want to get. So let's not do that. I want everyone to look back and say, man, I have a great life today because I did believe in myself. I know that I'm capable. I did persevere. I overcame obstacles and I took advantage of the opportunities that were placed in front of me. With that being said, I want to thank you for listening. I hope I said something of value. I gave you something of value, and I want to leave you with this. This is what I want to leave you with. What let me look at my notes. Yes, yes, yes. How good can you be in someone else's life? How much value do you bring to someone else's life? That's what I want to leave you with. So that's the question of the day, is how good can you be in someone else's life and how much value can you bring to somebody else? Because that is going to determine a lot. Your overall value is going to be a microcosm of what you've done for other people. How much value are you bringing, right? That's all I got. I want to thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me. This has been Wright, aka Chief. I can't wait to meet you in person if we haven't already met. And the future is bright. Love you all. Have a good day.